Happy Friday, Angela. This is Carolina from State Adventures. I have put together the trip for your family, and I thought it would be easier to just hop on here, go through the trip with you so that you can check out any questions and really kind of get to know what's included and what's not. Peru can be done in 100 different ways. I have been specializing in South America since 2006, and I have sent hundreds of people to Peru. I have been there myself many times. I have taken my parents, my children multiple times, doing the different excursions and hikes, inspecting probably 50 hotels. So I'm here to answer any of your questions. And I just want to make sure that when you're comparing different packages, you understand how different services can be. So without further ado, let me share my screen. And here is the itinerary that I put together for you. It starts on October 4th. So I kind of went based on the dates that you sent over, based on ideas that you've already put together. By all means, please know that everything is flexible. There is not one thing in Peru that needs to be done on a specific day in this particular part of Peru. Like there are no cruises or trains that operate, less than 7 times a week. So this trip is completely open to customization. It is private just for the four of you. So there's so much flexibility. I have been with my office in Peru for 16 years, and these are guides that have been with us forever. They are local and passionate, professional and licensed. And that brings me to State Adventures. We are not in Peru, we are in Florida. So we're available on your time zone. We're available 24 hours a day. We are bonded here in the United States. We are licensed. So there's just a lot of layers of security for you and for all of my clients. So when you're comparing that to perhaps some kind of local office that you found online, when you get to Cuzco, you'll see that there are probably 300 local offices, and they may be 3 months old, and there may be just two people trying to operate a whole, operation. So be weary about choosing the right services. I think historically, having hundreds of people behind us and many years of our services behind us kind of helps you establish who can pull through, because Peru can be unpredictable. There are flight delays and strikes and all kinds of different things happening. What happens when something like that pops up on your trip? We're there 24 hours, down to the oxygen tanks that we carry in our bags, down to the 24-hour medical team we have. If someone sprays an ankle or needs an altitude pill, these are the behind the scenes things that make a difference. So anyway, October 4th, you're going to take your international flight, which you mentioned already that you purchased. We will be there at the airport. There'll be a big State Adventure sign with your names on it, a smiling English-speaking guide waiting for you, and then our car will take you to the hotel. You mentioned you booked the Hyatt already. That's great. That works for you. We can work with it. If you do need it, I called them. They do not allow 4 people in one room, so you would need 2 rooms. And our deluxe rooms with taxes and breakfast are $199 per night. So if you need to compare, that's what we can offer you. San Isidro is not the center of Lima, so I just want to throw that out there. It is a different residential neighborhood. Miraflores is really the hub of activity in Lima. So if you want to change a hotel, I have plenty of opportunities for you to discuss to make you more central to the town. Now the next day, our private guide, that's the same guide that would have picked you up at the airport. He'll come back after your breakfast, meet with you in the lobby, and explore Lima with you. And again, this is a private tour. It's going to be based on your interests and abilities. So we're going to show you the old town, the new town, go to the coast, see Lovers Park. We'll go to Larco Museum, which, unlike here in the United States, this museum is quite small. You need no more than an hour inside it, but there's some really fun rooms in there. I'll leave that as a surprise. And then there's a beautiful courtyard and a restaurant in there. We love having lunch here. It's one of the most special little unknown places in Lima. So we will arrange lunch for your family here as well. And again, if you love food, if you love biking. There are all these different things that we can incorporate into this day. Lima's a metropolitan city, quite modern, quite large, so there's lots of traffic and things like that. But you let me know. And then tonight, if you really want to have a nice dinner, there's so many top restaurants in the world in Lima, so we can arrange a table for you. We can discuss that closer to departure. October is one of my favorite months, by the way. It is crisp, it is dry, it is, cool, so you can do all the activities outdoors. But all the crowds of the summer, all those busloads of students that usually come over the summer are gone. So I've been to Peru in October twice, and I just absolutely love it. Day 3, we're gonna take you back to the airport. It's a 45-minute drive. So when you're trying to piece a trip together on your own and you're thinking, oh, I'll take an Uber or a taxi, you're going 45 minutes outside of town. You wanna make sure you have somebody who is a safe driver, who is, you have backup in case anything happens. These are our drivers. We don't hire out to third parties. So it's always nice to have that. And the English speaking guide actually goes into the airport with you. Make sure your flight is on time. Make sure you're checked in. We actually check you in ahead of time, print the boarding passes, give them to your hand. We make it as easy as possible with all the logistics. Then when you arrive in Cusco, now we're in high altitude, and this is what I was mentioning on the chat, is you don't want to stay in Cusco when you land. We take you right to Sacred Valley so you can acclimate, you can rest a little bit, and be 2,000 feet lower, so it's easier to breathe. This will be a key to making sure your husband, who you mentioned has high blood pressure, is staying healthy and feeling good. Like I mentioned, we carry oxygen tanks in each of our vans. Our guides carry it in their backpacks, and we also have hotels that will pump oxygen into the room if needed. So if at any point of the trip you're feeling, short of breath or lightheaded, we're there for you, making sure that everybody's up to date. We also have coca, tea, and candy that we kind of give out throughout the trip to make sure that you're acclimated. There are many prescription drugs for altitude, and I don't recommend them. Most clients who have taken the drugs have actually had worse side effects than the altitude sickness themselves. So let's do it the natural way with local remedies like the coca tea. Once you arrive, we're going to take you to the hotel in the Sacred Valley. It's about an hour and a half drive. And route, I like to include these sites because they are soft walking. There's not a lot of strenuous activity, but they are like a big wow. Salineras, Maras, and Morai. These are the Incan laboratories and the salt mines of the Incas. So it's beautiful, but it's easy on you on your first day in high altitude. And we also have lunch at Iskay Maras home. And this is a private home that has been redone into a restaurant. You can only get there by invitation, by reservation. It's a beautiful house. It's actually like there's almost no photos of this place because it's so private, but they do all this farm to table meals, a really nice welcome to the valley. And Sacred Valley is that area between Cusco and Machu Picchu. So it's kind of a hub for all outdoor activities, Inca sites. It's a really beautiful and special place. You're going to be there for 4 nights. And most of my clients don't stay that long, but I'm going by your plans that you've had already and that you've emailed me. So because you're going to be there for the longest part of your trip, I really want you to go with a nice hotel because A, you want to be comfortable, you're acclimating. B, you're going to spend 4 nights. So you're really going to take advantage of the hotel. So my suggestion for you is the Rio Sagrado. I have been with this hotel since its doors opened. It's a Belmont property, really wonderful. It's probably the most luxurious hotel in all of the valley. So you can have 2 deluxe terrace rooms here. But if you prefer something bigger, because the Rio Sagrado is quite intimate, we can also go with the Tambo del Inca. It's a luxury collection property. Again, has been around for many, many years. And is my to-go-to if somebody's looking for that larger hotel, a lot more amenities. This one also has 2 deluxe terrace rooms for you, and the price is the same as Rio Sagrado. So it's your choice. Do you want a smaller, intimate hotel, like a quiet vibe, or do you want that larger property? And they even have their own train station. So you see, there's a lot more amenities here. Day 4, October 7th. There are many activities that we're going to do in the Sacred Valley, and I kind of split them throughout the day. So on this day, we're going to go to Misminay community. This is an indigenous village that we sponsor here at State Adventures. So There's not a lot of people that will be visiting this community. There's no bus loads. This is very remote, and it is to give you that glimpse of life. It's very special. I was just there in November to check on them, how they're doing after the the pandemic, and they're so excited for people to start coming back to Peru. And every day a different family kind of adopts our visitors. So it's like a rotation. Everybody's excited to host you. Sometimes you're bouncing a baby on your lap, and sometimes you're with an older couple that perhaps one of them is a shaman. So it's really, really interesting. So you'll do that. And then we'll go to Ollantaytambo, which is like the largest Incan complex in the Sacred Valley. It also has a village, very vibrant village, town almost. And there we can go to a local school, meet some kids, maybe deliver some school supplies. That's what I usually promote us doing. Maybe I'll send a bag with you with the guide, and you can deliver some supplies to them. We're always doing that, or we're planting trees for them, or doing all kinds of different services that, it makes a very memorable time. My kids love visiting local community children, and I find it amazing because, they don't speak the language, because these kids will not speak Spanish. They're speaking Quechua or another dialect, and my kids don't speak those languages, but somehow they become friends within 10 minutes, and it's just really darling to watch. So we'll do all of that. Again, I'll take you out for a nice local lunch, and then we'll take you to back to the hotel. October 8th, I chose to put the ATV ride on this day because I'll tell you a little bit about, I'm going to skip to your son's birthday on the 9th. On the 9th, it happens to be Sunday, and Sunday is a big festive day in the Sacred Valley. And Chinchero, which you actually had on your list on day 1, I put Chinchero here on October 9th. Why? Because it is a village that really comes to life on a Sunday. Like, all the indigenous people come down to the village to kind of barter with themselves and celebrate. And there's a church that has this interesting mass in there. So even if you're not religious, even if you're not into markets, it's a really big cultural, colorful day, and very cute village that's like on mountains. So there's lots of stairs and walking up and down. So I actually never have people go to this village on day 1 like you had on your list, because altitude is gonna make you drop. There's way too many stairs in this village, so I like to leave it to the end. So on your son's birthday, I included this because it's Sunday and it's festive and it's fun and kids really enjoy this day. But I also included the Purai Lagoon, and here there's a really fun gentleman that runs this adventure on the lake. So he has kayaks, he has stand-up paddleboard, but he also has this family outrigger. So the last time we were there, we all rode this outrigger together. I mean, we had like belly laps on this lake. And there's like pink flamingos in the back, and you're super high in altitude, and it's really fresh, and it's a great day. So I hope your son will enjoy this day, because the ATVs will be the day before his birthday, simply, to accommodate Chinchero on a Sunday. And so we'll go to ATV riding, we'll go to the Pisac ruins, which is way less visited than other ruins, because people think of Pisac and they think of the indigenous market that happens here every day. So most people will head into town to the market, but right outside of town, there's these awesome ruins you can climb around. So we'll do that ATVing. And you will see every day I list BLD. It means what meals are included. So you will see in the valley, if you're out and about, I'm going to arrange a lunch for you, simply because I don't want you eating in the hotel every day. And there's so many fantastic little spots, local communities, grandma's kitchens, things like that, that your family can really take advantage of. And then, of course, on the 9th, we're going to arrange a beautiful cake for your son. We'll have a celebration in the hotel, so don't worry about that. We will make sure to arrange it. And then October 10th, finally, we're getting on the train and we're going to Machu Picchu. So there are many trains that ride to Machu Picchu, so beware when picking the right service. I always choose the Vista Dome. It is the one with the glass dome ceiling. They serve snacks on board, so kids really like that, but adults love the views. And once we get to Machu Picchu, I arrange for a porter to come to the train station along with the guide. So the porter will take your bags and go check them into the hotel, and you are free to go up to the ruins. So there's no confusion and there's no time wasted going to the lobby and standing in the line. All of that we take care of for you as you head up to the ruins. That first day at the ruins is overwhelming. There's so much to see and do. We usually stay 2 to 3 hours with our guide up there, give you a little bit of free time, but by then You have been up really early, you're exhausted. We take you to a nice lunch in the town and we check you into the hotel. Now, this is the thing about Machu Picchu. Most people will leave after that hubbub of a tour, leave on that afternoon train. We will stay the night so that you can rest and go back for sunrise. So you'll have a second opportunity to see the ruins in a completely different light, in many different, in a much smaller crowd. So this is like kind of the sunrise view of the ruins. And here you'll have an opportunity. Maybe the teenagers want to climb up to the peak. Maybe you want to do a soft hike to the Sun Gate, which is the start of the Inca Trail. Many different trails that you can enjoy this morning. Going back to the hotel that I chose, this is the only hotel that I suggest that you do a 4-star as opposed to upgrading to one of the 5 stars. Why? Because you will arrive to the hotel probably at 6 o'clock, exhausted. You will have lunch in the hotel and you will sleep because the next morning you're rising up to go to sunrise. So you're not really taking advantage of the hotel. Why waste the money on a very expensive hotel? There are hotels here that are $1,000 a night. So beware when picking which property you're gonna take advantage of or not. And we will arrange dinner for you there as well, mainly because the village is quite small, doesn't have a lot of infrastructure. So we like to arrange the dinners here so that you have something healthy and safe. Then after the second tour to Machu Picchu, after sunrise, we're gonna give you a treat. We're gonna go to the Sanctuary Lodge, which is that $1,000 a night hotel. And they are at the gate of the ruins. Like the gates are here, right, like to the right of here. And right at the opposite side of the gate is Sanctuary Lodge. They have a beautiful lunch spread. So we're gonna have lunch up there. Again, it gives you a little bit more leisure. You don't have to run down to town. You don't have to take shuttles. It helps make everything smoother and kids less cranky. Used to traveling with my children, so I know what ticks them off. And then in the afternoon, we'll take a leisurely, beautiful train back to Cuzco. And now we are fully acclimated, we're feeling good, and we're going to spend 2 nights there. And I chose the JW Marriott. I'm not a big fan of Marriott chains because I feel like they feel very businessy all over the world. But this one has done a beautiful job. It took an old convent. It took like 7 years renovating it because every time they dug something up, there was like an Inca wall or a piece of an artifact from the Incas. So they actually worked with the history and created a gallery museum inside the hotel to kind of save all the pieces that they found. So it's really well done. So on day 9, October 12th, we're going to meet our local guide and we're going to explore Cusco. Cusco's great. It's cobblestone. It's walking everywhere. There's chocolate workshops. There's rooftop cooking classes. There's all these fun things that you can do with your kids. And we're also going to go right outside of town. And here is where I put the horseback riding. Outside of town, there are more ruins, and warning, red flag for your kids. They're going to be tired of ruins at this point. So sticking horseback riding here is a great idea because they're going to be excited about something new. In the meantime, you can enjoy all the ruins and all the Inca sites that we still have in store for you. And then tonight, for your farewell dinner, I included dinner at the local museum, the Archaeological Museum. It closes up at night, but they keep the restaurant open. It's all glassed in. So it's really awesome to be able to eat inside a closed museum at night. I think it just adds something special. And then October 13th, we'll take you back to the airport and we included a flight back to Lima. We can do this in the afternoon. So we'll ask for late checkout for you. You'll have some time to do repacking, maybe some souvenir shopping, and then off to home you go. So I don't know why I put Ecuador here. I must have Ecuador on my mind. So this trip is a private tour for the 4 of you. It's $44.99 per person. It is October, so it is still peak season. I definitely suggest that you think about making choices, making decisions soon. So if you do start with a deposit today, we're going to take $100 off per person so you can save $400 total for your family. Please review the itinerary. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know, this works. This is what I would tweak. I'm here to help. We can customize it further. I'm on the East Coast, so you can call me or we can Zoom this way. I'm more than happy to help. I have helped a number of people from our Facebook groups simply because I see people struggling putting together these itineraries and they don't know that we're here. We're in Florida. We're easy to connect with, and we're here to help give all the advice and experience that I've collected in 16 years. So happy travels, and I hope to chat with you soon.